how you feel about baseball is honestly how I feel about hockey. I'm trying. I think I got to go to a live game though. Like everyone I've talked to recently that said that they love hockey and got introduced to it older. They went to a live game. Like they didn't, it wasn't watching it on TV what made them get into it. So
So
might
I
have to,
recommend definitely go to a live game, but if you can get to like a rivalry game,
mm.
that's that's where you're going to see the best hockey, especially later in the season, getting close to the playoffs. I mean, if these two teams hate each other, it just makes it more fun to watch.
What's the best rivalry in hockey?
I mean, me growing up here, it's always been Boston, Montreal, but
Mm.
there's some. I mean, recent years, Boston, Florida's been a big one. Um, it depends on what area you're from. The Rangers have their rivalries with different teams. I mean, Toronto Maple Leafs have some rivalries. Uh,
But
it just depends on where you're from. For me, it's Canadians, Bruins, but the Canadians have sucked for the last few years. So
yeah, it's hard to have a rivalry when the other team ain't holding up their end.
yeah.
But
Well,
I'm
now
down
the
in
Bruins suck. So
Orlando. I can
what's
catch
that?
down in Orlando. We have like the Bright Line train. I might be able to catch the train down there and catch a Bruins Florida game. You know, I claim either it depends on who's winning at the time. So I'm with the Lightning or the Panthers. Like that's how I feel when it comes to hockey.
Yep. And those two teams have a pretty good rivalry going right now because they're both going to be in the playoffs. They're both really good teams this year. So if you can catch a Tampa Florida game, that would be an awesome game to see.
That's even better. Tampa's closer. Tampa's closer. Cool, cool. Tony, Red Sox up right now?
Red Sox are tied up at 2 in the bottom of the eighth inning.
Bottom of the eighth inning. How do you feel about the Red Sox going into the season?
Well, can I speak on the hockey thing first?
Yeah, go ahead, do your thing. My bad. My bad.
I've been to a few hockey games, and I
Okay.
still can't watch it on TV. I get what people are saying when you go there. There's excitement in the arena, but it doesn't carry over. I'll never be a hockey fan, and part of the problem with hockey is I love the NBA. I'm going to watch the NBA over hockey. March Madness is on. I'd rather watch that over hockey. All of a sudden, we have baseball on. There's just too many things going on. And if you're not a hockey fan, if you're not a diehard, it's just not going to happen because I've been trying to make it happen for years. And for me personally, it hasn't happened. So I don't see it changing for you as either.
I, I can feel that because you only got so much time and bandwidth to.
Right.
I love sports, but sometimes I
Yep.
want to put a movie on.
Right, right, right.
Sometimes I gotta put a show on. So I feel that. And I think that might have been one of the things that's made it harder in the past. They just got this good ESPN contract. It was hard to find on TV too for like what up until what 2, 3 years ago. So that made
Yeah,
it
for a
tough.
long time.
So now you got to fit in now. You got to figure
Right.
out placing this. And like you said, right now, this is the close to the end of the NBA season. The Celtics pretty much know where they're gonna be, but the rest of the team still trying to figure out their positioning. Like you said, March Madness, one of the most exciting times of the year. But hockey, hey, y'all got Ovechkin. He's about to break Wayne Gretzky record. I guess that's big news.
Yep.
Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe highlight stars, man.
It's being promoted a lot better than some of these other sports. They're trying to grow hockey, which that Four Nations thing was huge for them.
true.
But they're definitely still number four on the top four sports.
Well, if hockey wants to catch up, continue to have the Four Nations anytime there's NBA All-Star Weekend, and you will gain ground every
Yeah,
year.
right.
Every year you will gain ground. You give a competitive sport against people out here playing around because that's all they're doing. You're gonna gain ground.
Yeah, I can't watch all-star games in general. At least the hockey, those games meant something to those players, so they all played hard. It was a great tournament to watch. So hopefully they continue to grow it. Um, they'll never overtake, the NBA or football, but baseball's doing a terrible job of marketing, the stars that they have.
They
So
yeah, that yeah, Rob Manfred. worst commissioner in sports.